Okay, cut the head and put the head on its own layer. We're going to cut the eye. Look for eye 1. Go back to the head layer. Cut the other eye. Eye 2. From here we can cut the pupil. Pupil 2. Put the other one here. Let that cut the pupil from this one. This will be pupil 1. Head layer. Cut the nose. Cut a tool. Cut the mouth. Use the cutter tool. Cut the ears. Make sure that we select the head layer. Cut the ears. This is the ear 1. Cut the eyebrow. We cut it from the head layer. F9 to the eyebrow. So let's go back to the original view layer and cut the neck. We need to cut the neck. Here, we need to cut this arm. So the arm 1. Arm 1. From the arm, we're going to cut the hand. Hand 1. All right. We're going to cut the torso. Later on, we'll clean up the body parts. We're just focusing on cutting up the character. This would be arm 2. And from arm 2, we're going to cut the hand. Hand 2. And clean it up. Go down to the leg. Well, the thigh. Cut the thigh part. Now I'm going to select the entire leg here. Label this. Thigh 1. And from thigh 1, we're going to cut this part here, which is the leg. So the layers have already been created. It's just a matter for me to place them on that layer. So leg 1. Select this is the foot. Go to the other one now. This one going to be the thigh. So select the entire leg. Find thigh 2. Then from there, cut down to the leg. Leg 2. And then now foot 2. So pretty much we have all of the body parts cut up for the 3/4 view. So we need to like clean up the body parts. So for example, the foot here, notice that this has a little bit of the, I can bring this down. This has a little bit of the foot part here. I can use my select tool to do some of the cleaning. So I just select that part and then use my delete button to delete some of the parts. Then I can use my transform to start selecting areas. Here is the thigh. So let's get rid of the foot part because this is the thigh layer. That's the thigh. We can get rid of some of the torso area here. Let's select the leg part. See the leg? The leg doesn't have the shoe part on it. And I can know what layer I'm on by looking here. I can tell that this is the leg area. So I know that the leg shouldn't have any of the foot because the foot is on its own layer. So now when I select my transform, you'll notice you have the foot, you have the leg, and you have the thigh. So you see those parts, how they cut? So we know that those 3 parts are cut up and somewhat cleaned up. I was doing a base, I just getting it. So this part is the thigh. So I know that it shouldn't have the foot on it, nor should it have the lower part of the leg. It shouldn't have any other hand or the torso. So that's what the thigh should look like. So the foot part, just a little bit of cleaning up right here to get rid of this little part. Select the lower leg. You know that we're on the leg. So we know that the foot not supposed to, because we're going to have duplicates of the drawings on the layer. So we're trying to get rid of those duplicates where we just have that one area. So we want to need to clean up that leg a little bit more. All right, let's go to the torso. We know that we're on the torso layer by looking here. So we know that this part shouldn't be on the, so that part is a part of the tie, so we clean that up. Get rid of the arm, because the arm is on, so we're going to have to recreate some of the torso. So we delete we delete the arm part, which is this, because this wouldn't be the torso would kind of have its own shape. So what I can do, I can use a line tool and I draw something like that. Can have his torso being like that. Hold down D to sample the purple color. And if I press, I click on my paint bucket, I'm going to paint the rest of that. This is the part of the sleeve. We can, well, let me just use the eraser to just erase that part. And then, what you want to end up having, is that this is the arm part, which should be separate from the torso. Delete. This is, we're on the arm part now. We're deleting that. We're going to delete the lower part of the hand. The hand is on its own layer. So we're rubbing out the hand part and leaving the arm part right there. This little line here, we can use the eraser to erase that little part. That is a part of the torso. So that's what the arm should look like. We're going to need to put a rounded end right here, so that when you rotate the hand, it rotates very smoothly. The hand part, we're going to clean up the hand a little bit. This little area can go away, and then here, and then this little line. So that's what the hand should look like. Go over to this. Notice I'm using my transform tool to select different parts. This part here is the arm. So we know that we want to delete, we want to rub out the hand part, because the hand is on its own layer already. We can rub that out. And select the hand part here. And delete that part of the arm. I have to use my eraser. Rub that part out. So we'll just continue. So we have the eye, the pupil, nose, mouth, neck. Well, this is the head part. Want to delete this part from the head. All of these facial features would have been deleted, including the eyebrow. The ears would have been deleted. I would extend this going up some more like that. Or, you know what, I'm going to use a stroke. You can come here and go to the stroke. We'll just fill up that area. And a stroke, what a stroke is, it's an invincible line that allows you to seal up a gap. And let's go over to our skin and just paint. Alright, let's go over to the tool properties. Not painting. To close up the close gap. So now it's painted. Oh, one of the eye is missing. Eye 2. Why is eye 2? Return this off. Oh. Alright, that means that eye 2, for some reason. Oh, there's no eye 2. Let's delete this. You have to recut. have to recut the eye too. Put that there. Just clean that up. Clean this. We'll just change the color over to the skin color. Okay, that. So now we should have the facial features that are, we can move the facial features here. This is the ears. Well, I'm going to do a bit of Z spacing to bring that ears forward. So this arm should be over here. And this pivot should be like rotating like that. But later we'll deal with that. We have the torso. We have those areas. So we have most of the body parts cut up. So what you have to do, you have to go in and start cutting up the different parts of the body on the, not only for like the front view, but you have to do it also for the 3/4 view and make sure that you don't have body parts that are overlapping. You're going to have to do some kind of reconstruction for the torso and the torso view. Let me just delete this entire fill and repaint it. Let's have little gaps in it. Paint it as one. Okay. Gap some more. There you go. Sometimes it gives a little bit of difficulty painting, but you have to sometimes zoom in and out, kind of get it painted. I mean, the process is the same for with the ties. If you look at this tie, and the first one, notice that here has a rounded end. So you know that this now needs to be extended up. So I use my contour editor to kind of extend it up a bit. Like that. And then you can use, oops, use this to kind of bring that up. Like that. Then you use your cutter tool and cut off the different parts. Sample that. And you paint that. So that's what the tie should look like. Same thing with the other tie. You create a rounded, but first you have to extend it up a bit. Extend it up like that. Like that. My cutter tool, cut off. Oops. There, no need to kind of go over a bit. There, sample that. Paint the rest. So that's how the tie should look. The lower part of the leg. to be right here. I'm going to extend that up a bit. Use the ellipse tool. Oops. Sample the color right there. Over a bit. Use the cutter tool. Use the paint bucket. Paint in there. I would bring this down a bit. Sample back the black color by holding down D and clicking there. And by the way, sometimes when you see me, I'm using shortcuts. Now, what I would advise for you to do is if you go to drawing, go to tools, you can look at these shortcuts are very handy. So like Alt S for select tool, Alt Q for the contour editor, Alt T for your cutter tool, Alt and the forward slash or backward slash, you use that for like your pencil. Alt E is your eraser. Alt D is your dropper tool. If you hold down D, you can get your dropper tool. Alt and the other slash is your line. Alt and equal is your ellipse tool. So Alt and I is your paint tool. So if you study these tools, it can help you to move very quickly as it relates to rigging. So Alt T is my cutter tool and I can cut certain areas. And then I hold down D to sample the color, because instead of me going over to my color palettes and having to choose my color, whatever color I need, I just hold down. Notice you see the color that's being displayed here. If I press D and sample it, it samples the color. So that is one way in which you can move fast. Alt Q to like get my contour editor and snap. A little bit messy here, but I can work. So have that. So that's what the lower leg should look like. The other lower leg, we do the same thing. We use the contour editor to extend up the line. Extend that down a little bit. By the way, in your drawing view, you can turn on your light table to kind of see a highlight as to what it's I'm within the drawing layer, but I can see it like a somewhat of an onion skin to see what my drawing looks like on other layers. Sample this D. T, cutter tool. Oops. Sample that there. I'm just using shortcuts to move very quickly. The hand part, we need to create a rounded circle here and another rounded circle so that this rotates properly. So once again, your ellipse tool, hold down D, we need a black color. And just draw an elliptical shape right here. And I need to draw it down a bit. Let me turn off the snap to contour. Reposition. And what you want to do is that if you want the hand and the lower arm to line up properly, what you do is you select the circle here Control C to copy it. You select the lower arm and paste back the same circle here. What you do now, you cut the lower part of that off for the arm. You cut the lower part of this off for the hand. Then you fill the rest of the area here. Later on, we're going to patch it so that you don't see that line, so that it rotates properly. So that if I were to set like the pivot position right here and rotate this, it would rotate. You know, like I mean, the pivot position needs to be fixed more, maybe over a bit. Try here. Yeah, something like that. Pivot position for here needs to be set there. So when that goes up, you can rotate the arm like that. Same thing with this. The hand would put another circle here. You know, sample a black color right here. Draw the circle. Select this circle. Go to the other layer here. Paste it. You know, use your cutter tool to cut off the base here. Paint up a little here. And fill the rest of it with paint. Select the hand tool, cut off the base part.